Hello everybody, I'm Larry Ferry from WCTV, the all-volunteer access group from the Township of Washington. I'm here with John Francola. John, we're sitting at the 50-yard line at the Westwood field here in Washington Township. The Westwood Cardinals, defending champs, they've won 2 years in a row. People in town, both towns, Washington Township and Westwood, looking forward to another great season from the Cardinals.
Well, they had last year, everybody was undefeated, freshman, JV, and varsity, putting a little pressure on the head coach.
Yeah, and what we want to do today is basically officially introduce the new head football coach here at Westwood, Dennis Hard. And Dennis, I want to congratulate you on becoming the coach here at Westwood. And so far, since you've been coach, how's things been going?
Yeah, everything action's been very good. We've been more than happy with what we've had so far. When the change occurred, it was a big surprise when Vito was leaving for the players and the coaches ourselves in the beginning. But it was a lot smoother transition than I thought it would be. The players, they were ready to go. I think regardless who the head coach was, they were working hard in the weight room, and we as coaches we kept talking about we're going to just pick off from where we left off from the year before. And, the big thing that my selling point was the offense is going to be the same, same terminology. Defense is going to be the same terminology, obviously, that I'm at my end of the game. And, I think that made it a lot easier for the players.
Well, let's just go a little bit about yourself now. Talk a little bit about yourself and how many years you've been coaching and where, so people have an idea of how much time. I know you put 33 years into into this profession. Yeah,
I'm definitely the elder statesman of this staff. 33 years as a coach. Started off, I was an assistant coach in Weehawken. Moved on to Wallington. I was 3 years an assistant. Lucky enough to be on a state championship team in 1990. Became the head coach in 93 to 2002. During that time, we won 2 league championships. Qualified for the playoffs 4 different years. Got to the finals, but we had some successful seasons there. From there, moved on as an assistant. Was at Paramus Catholic for 2 years, 06, 07. Became a defensive coordinator at Bergen Tech for the next 3 years, and then 4 years ago, became the defensive coordinator here at Westwood with Vito. And just to walk into a situation like this was amazing. I mean. The field was the first year of the stadium, like we refer to as Cardinal Stadium. I don't know if it's the official name, but to walk in and have this great facility, everything was in place, and it was a step-by-step procedure that first year.
Let's briefly talk about your coaching staff. Any new addition, subtraction? I know we lost Vito Campanelli.
Right. I mean, huge, obviously, big part of this program. But the big addition, the gentleman we thought he was going to be on camera, he got a little camera shy, was Tommy O'Melia. He's basically Mr. Westwood. When he played here, he was in the state championship 4 years in a row. Lucky enough this senior year that they won it. I'm just so happy to have him back. He was here 4 years ago. He left to go to Englewood, was an offensive line coach over there, and he's coming back. He'll have a defensive line and the offensive line with this program. And I'm just so blessed because the entire staff outside of Tommy is going to be intact with the same coaches. Bobby Guy is going to be the offensive coordinator. His coaching resume includes he was a graduate assistant at Pace, assistant coach at Fairlawn, and he was last year part of the staff of the state championship team.
All right. How about let's talk a little bit about your seniors. I believe you have 6 returning seniors that played a lot last year. Can we talk a little bit about the players like I guess Lawton, but he's not a senior, right? He's a junior.
No, he is.
He is a senior. Okay. So
yeah,
that's
Ryan,
my first mistake I made there.
Ryan Lawton, one of our captains, one of the few players that really had time playing last year. He came up big in the state championship game. Had huge catch right in the middle of the field, keep our drive alive. Later on in the game, had a big 2-point conversion with a catch. And he started the game at defensive end. He was playing defensive end and Sam linebacker during the season. And he just stood tall and was outstanding in that game and also in the previous playoffs. So he had experience coming in.
Young Catherman, who's now a senior, right?
Young Bobby Catherman, yeah.
See, that not bad there, Mr. Poggi.
Okay, right. Looks like he's doing a nice job. He's a real good possession receiver. He's also playing at corner. He's been working hard and had a real good practice. We were out here this morning at 6:30, and he was catching the ball and doing a real good job for us early.
Now, the one young man that I thought was tremendous last year, number 40.
Right. Dylan Rukuski. He was just
yes.
Yeah, Rukuski was just outstanding. I mean, he really didn't get his due. We were just talking about him the other day. He was a sophomore, with a senior-laden team. He played will linebacker, and every week we go through the films. You look back at it, he was either one of the leading tacklers or at least in the top three. And then he just had an outstanding season. Unfortunately, he did have a knee injury in that state game, and then we really didn't think he was going to play at all. But we had an unfortunate thing where Evan Hull was out of the game, and he came back in the game and played at tight end, and probably had 0 reps, maybe 1 or 2 there all year, and just did an outstanding job there on one leg.
Where will he play this year?
This year he's going to be a fullback, will be a B-back, and he's our Mike linebacker this year, and he's just really worked so hard in the weight room. He's just got a great body, and the best thing about him too is he's such a great student. I mean, I could see him going on to Ivy League somewhere. The potential to play, but obviously with his grades. And the great thing is he's only a junior.
Well, we're about 6-7 weeks away from the opening day. Your schedule is formidable. You have a lot of teams there that are really good. The 2 big ones that we've covered over the years where there's a tremendous rivalry. You play at Marwa and you have Riverdale here. They're going to present trouble. But there are other teams there that can come up and can bite you if you're not prepared. I'm thinking of Ramsey. Richfield Park gave you a tough game last year. Cliffside Park with Babe Mongilia's on the way up.
They should be improved.
Everybody should be improved. It's going to be a challenge for you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even opening day, it's going to be we got Pascott Kills at home, but they improved so much during the season last year. We opened up with them last year, pretty decisive victory, but they got better as the season went on, and we were fortunate that their really good running back was out, and we met them here in the playoffs, and it was a tight game, and we kind of opened it up in the second half, but I expect them to be real strong, and as you mentioned, Cliffside Park, never an easy game, even when their team didn't have such a great record. It was never an easy situation going down there, playing in a day game. It just kind of gets you off rhythm a little bit. The rest of our schedule are night games, and of course they're used to the day games. But, I agree with you. That's going to be a tough one also.
Now, you've had the kids in. They've been running around, lifting weights, whatnot. Have they progressing to your satisfaction, or are they where they're supposed to be right now?
Well, as a coach, you want higher standards. You always want them to be better. We feel they can get a lot stronger. But we made some great gains during the off season as far as weightlifting. Kids are putting on some nice size, agility-wise and quickness. Coach Guy and Coach Vinny Aiello worked hard with them in the off season in the weight training program, and a lot of core exercises. And we were out there, as I was saying before, this morning at 6:30, and pushing them. And we're doing the prowlers, the sleds, and we just got to get them in the best possible condition that they can be.
Talking about that, I saw on the website, the Cardinal website, the weight room looks like it's really been updated. It looks like a real top-notch weight room.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the big things that I wanted to do right away. To upgrade that, we got a rack, with a platform and thing that was long overdue that we needed. Our athletic director, Danny Vivino, did a great job in getting us weights. We have the rubberized weights, the dumbbells, and hopefully we're not finished. We're going to make some more strides in that weight room to upgrade it, annually.
Going forward now, this is we're shooting this show the 15th of July, and we got 2 months to go, almost 2 months to the day. What's your biggest challenge from now until you tee the ball up here on the 40-yard line and you punt it off? What's your biggest challenge today?
Well, the big thing, like we talk to the kids all the time, is the accountability. They can't think that just because the last 2 years we had such success, there was no shortcuts. Those guys worked hard. It's not just going to happen. It can't be any complacency. This is their team. It's a whole new group of people, and they have to reestablish themselves. And the other thing is, too, we're going to have a big bullseye on us. Teams are looking to take us out. We go 23-1 the last 2 years. People, nothing better. They're going to be circling the Westwood Cardinals on their schedule.
Let's talk back some of the players that we had from last year. Michael Saunders. Now, he's officially a senior. And remember, we got to call him Michael.
Right.
And that's good to know. And that young man, I mean, he's got to go, what, 6'3", 6'4", 250?
Right. Yeah, he's
He'll
really
be one of the captains.
absolutely. I
assume.
was just going to say that he's
Okay.
one of our captains, and Michael. You know, a lot of people didn't realize last season he broke his foot during the season, early in the season. I think it was week 2, and he played the whole season with a broken foot. And you know, he had an X-ray and everything, and they said it was negative, and he just continued to play. You know, I mean, he had to have some downtime, and but he rarely complained and just pushed through it. And for him, he became a two-way player. You know, he was playing guard and he was playing the 3 technique, and that just changed our defense totally. You know, we had the unfortunate thing. Matty Muniz went down. He had a spleen injury. We missed him, but you know, for Michael to come step in there, it just stepped up our defense. And he actually had an operation right after the season. They couldn't repair the bone; they had to actually remove it. You know, he had it in the hospital in New York for special services, special operations services over there in
69th Street.
Yep, that's the place, and it was a big operation. I mean, and he's not 100% yet, but you know, I'm sure. You know, he's always pushing. He wants to push the envelope and practice and everything. We're trying to hold him out to get the healing process in there because we pretty much know what he can do.
We got to get an update on Mr. Poggi there. You know, he went out with an injury. The young man. I know Puma
Poggi.
Puma Poggi. Yeah. Now, how is he doing, Mr. Poggi?
Puma Jr. Yes. No, he's really put some real hard work in the weight room. He's gotten so much stronger. Great attitude coming out, and you know, he'll be playing tight end and play a little bit of rover. We just went through the extra point today. Yesterday, I told him he was holding, and I think he turned red and he wanted no part of that. So I mean, it was a shame because it was such a fluke injury. It was, you know, it was the end of the game. He was a holder, and 99 times out of 100 doesn't happen. But unfortunately, in his case, it did.
The Riverdale game?
No, it's right here, I think.
Was it here? The injury?
I thought it was a playoff game. Was it?
It was a playoff game.
Playoff game? Inglewood.
Englewood. I'm sorry. It was the Englewood game. My final regular season game here.
Yeah. Like,
Just how about Liam Karlstrom?
Liam Karlstrom too. You know, I mean, he's put some time and work, but you know, he had an unfortunate injury too. He actually had Tommy John surgery on his elbow, and you know, from throwing a football, and you know, so he's not 100% back too. But he's going to give us so many different variables. You know, he'll play running back. He could play up on the line as a tight end. He could also play in a slot. He's our signal caller on defense. He plays free safety, makes all the checks, and he's such a student of the game. You know, I mean, we got to get him back in the lineup 100%. You know, again, his injury's not 100% right now either.
One more question from me regarding the quarterback. I mean, you lost the 2 quarterbacks last year. They were outstanding. I mean, with Saunders and my other good buddy, Hopkins. They did a great job. You know, now that's going to be a tough situation for you as a head coach to pick someone who can actually lead the team, or multiple people that can lead the team.
Oh, sure. I mean, we may be in a situation like we were last year, a 2-headed quarterback. You know, we had Zach Hopkins and Colin Saunders. You know, this year, Steele Lombardi is right now doing pretty well for us at the quarterback, a senior.
Name.
Yeah, right. Isn't that a great name for a football player? And then Sean Hopkins is a sophomore. Is a quarterback who played on an undefeated freshman team, and also Karlstrom, as you mentioned before, he'll be in the mix too. You know, as far as how much he progresses from his injury. So there's 3 quarterbacks right there vying for the spot.
And a couple of more things, then we'll let you go. Very important here to the Westwood football program is the amount of support you get from the community. I know you want to talk a little about how important the community, both in Washington Township and Westwood, is to this program. The president of Touchdown Club is behind the camera there, walking back and forth, and had to set us up on the right angle, make sure everything was right. So he's already here doing the little things. So talk a little about what the community means to this program.
Oh, I mean, that's one of the big things that you know, drew me back, that I wanted to be the head coach here. I mean, the support, not only from Rich Poggi and the Touchdown Club, but all the parents and everything around here. They're just behind us 1,000%. You know, you talk about it, as far as what they're behind us. A great thing happened on Saturday. Vito Trouse is having his birthday Saturday. You know, all the community is going to be involved. And, you know, we're just talking about taking pictures and things. Our whole team will be here out at 2 o'clock. And I'm sure so many other teams, you know, people embrace the legacy, whatever here is, or also the history of the school. And, you know, people come back, they move away, they come back to Westwood. They still want to be a part of it. Beefsteaks and different things, honoring the other state championship teams. People take a grasp of that and they respect it. And each one of these little guys too. We have the camp. They want to be a part of it. We tell them that they can be a big part of it. It's step-by-step procedure, but they can be that too.
Yeah, I was going to say the last time we talk about you having a camp here. I was told you have something like 80 young people signed up for the camp, which is a large number. And as you look out here, these are the future Cardinals going maybe 8, 9, 10 years. Some of them so young, will be playing here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're hoping each one of these guys are going to be wearing a Cardinal red jersey in a couple of years. Yeah, we have 82 players in the camp. This future Cardinal camp. It's the 6th annual. This is the 5th camp that I've worked, and this by far is the largest amount of boys that we've had in the camp. And in the mornings we work skills. Today we worked offensive skills. Yesterday was defense. And this afternoon we come out, we work a little more skills, and then a lot of the touch games that they get involved in competition.
And just to go over what John mentioned earlier, the program is really on good footing. Last year, the entire program went undefeated. You won undefeated as a freshman, JV, and in your varsity. And you're 20. I think you're 20-3 at this field here over the last 6 years. So the program is on good footing, and you've got a large freshman class coming in, right?
Right. Oh, wow. You're putting some more pressure on me. Wow. I didn't realize it was that good. Yeah. But
well,
you're right.
Poggi gave me all the information.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right. I mean,
he's the problem.
Here's the problem right there, him.
I don't really get caught up a lot of times with stats and things, but, you're...
You haven't mispronounced it yet.
I mean, this... you're 100% right. We've had... this is our place. We play well here, and we hopefully that continues. But... Realistically, though, I mean, we had 16 quality seniors graduate last year. Not too many people have that. And, as far as experience level, even though we have, some good seniors, they didn't have a lot of experience coming in with the varsity level. And that's one thing that I should have added to it a little bit. I'm worried about, as far as the experience.
The history that you talked about, you were a big part of it, playing the defensive coordinator and helping along the way. So you're part of that success. So I want to wish you well. So John and I... we'll be here with WCTV. We're doing all of you home games, and we will be up at Mawa to do one of those the Mawa game. And as you go along, we will follow you, and hopefully you playoffs and whatnot. But we'll be there. It's a tremendous program. If anybody wants any proof of it, you just look out here as the young people are coming out for the 1 o'clock workout for the camp, and there are 82 kids here, John, which says an awful lot about the Westwood football program.
It's a labor of love. Look at this. How can you beat this? These young people all out here coming, and will be coming to a beautiful field, great coaching staff, and Rich Poggi behind the scene.
Driving us nuts all the time. I want to thank you for taking time. I know how important it is to you to be here with the kids and taking a half hour. We're going to be talking with you during the year. I can mention to the people that are watching us along the line, we're going to have a preview show every Thursday. We want you to be part of it along the line to discuss the previous game that was played and what's coming up and just the overall tenor of the school. Want to wish you all the luck. You've always been a gentleman to us up at the press box. You were always able to give us the different changes and names and who's playing. You don't even know it, but you made our job quite easy, and we look forward to working with you.
Right, and more sophisticated we are.
Well,
we know some things.
So,
come on.
yeah, we do sound bright because of people that behind the scenes. Other than that, we'd be done. The best of luck. September 12th, Friday, September 12th, right here, 7 o'clock. Westwood has their first regular season games as Brooks Alexander brings the Pascack Hills Cowboys in to face the Cardinals as they prepare to defend their state championship. John, final word?
The M&M boys from Pascack Hills will not be there, though.
No,
remember those two.
The two M&M boys will be here. So for Ricky Wachicki, who's putting this together, doing the editing, John Francola, of course, our very special guest, the head coach of the Westwood Cardinals, Dennis Hard, Larry LaFury.
We got to officially congratulate him for getting the job, and we did behind it, but on the...
Oh, let's do this officially. Okay. Thank you very much.
And good luck, and we'll be in your corners the whole way.
I just want to give a shout-out the players that we have working this camp.
Okay.
Craig Carmelani, outstanding offensive player, as you know, offensive player of the year. Chris Napoli. Just an inspiration. He was actually a year ago at this time, found out he had cancer, and he's just fighting through it. Such an inspiration. Matty Muniz, I spoke about before. was a real good player for us and getting injured. Zach Hopkins, the quarterback, is also working. His dad, Dan Hopkins, and Colin Keating 2 years ago, outstanding defensive lineman, offensive lineman. So I want to surround myself with great people, and I think I've definitely done that as far as that.
And it rubs off on the young people. Yeah.
9/11, the game is.
Oh, 9/11. I'm very sorry. I've been corrected by Rich Poggi. Put this down. July 15th, first mistake Poggi caught.
How many mistakes we make in the show?
Oh, about 106. That was last year's.
That's why people keep watching us.
Yeah, they want to see how much a fool really can make. Thank you so very much, Coach, and we'll be talking to you along the line. So for everybody here, Ricky again, John, myself, Larry LaFurry for WCTV, the Mr. Poggi behind the scenes.
Giving us the information, names,
Places, mistakes, dates.
yeah. Mistakes we made.
Oh, he's fantastic. And of course, the head football coach here, Dennis Hart. Good night, everybody.